Welcome to part 3 of my video series on buying a used mosquito magnet on Craigslist. This one will talk about the inspection of the unit. You want to do a thorough inspection when you buy the unit because taking it to a service center or sending it out to a service center will charge you at least $100 to service it and repair parts and clean it all up for you. I know there's one large national service center that charges $200 to $300 to service it. So you want to make sure you're getting a good one or you're getting a really good deal on it. So first thing you want to look for is how many accessories do the people have? Do they have the original manual? Do they have an extra net? Do they have battery? Do they have charging cord? What do they have to go with the unit? Second thing is, do they have all the pieces for the base? Do they have the base tube? Is it bent? Often this front piece of the base will break. Here, I showed you this. This one here is broken, and what happens is if you step right here, push on here, you'll break this, and then you can still use it. You can still put a propane tank on here and kind of balance it, but it's not as good as having the good actual front leg to support it. So for the independents, do they have a battery model or do they have a battery pack? Often people leave the batteries in here, and these springs and port connectors get quite blue and corroded with just sitting there over time. The next thing I do, first thing I do when I get a unit is turn it upside down and look at inside the plume. So this black thing is called the plume, and what you want to do is take a flashlight and shine it down and look in here, around here. And I'm going to take this one out. You can't actually take this out because it's snapped in there. And you want to look at this gray part. And if it's been used a lot, that'll be white. And you'll see a lot of white corrosion in there. This one hasn't been used much, so you don't see much corrosion in there. This is a little bit what it looks like. So you see all this white corrosion and stuff in here. If it's been used a lot, you'll see a lot of it. And the machine should get serviced and sent out. And it's going to take a lot to clean that up. So if it has a lot of corrosion there, you may or may not want to get that one. Another thing is, look for a short hose. Short hose usually means it's a newer model. Along with that, on the back of each unit, there's a serial number. This one is IN, so for independence, 01311. So it's 1300. So anything after 1000 is a fairly recent model. So those usually are pretty recent, pretty good shape, and usually those are the ones that I go for. So once again, look for all the accessories, look for a broken base, look for the serial number on the back. Another thing to note is if it's been used a lot, or even if it hasn't, there's a fuel nozzle that goes in the back, right in the back here, and goes in the back of the motor, they call it. And this filter on the end often gets black and clogged, and this nozzle often turns black. I sell these on 30 bucks on eBay. If this is the only thing that's bad with your system, then you're in pretty good shape. So often I throw a new nozzle in, and they're back up and running and in good shape. So if you can, if the person has a battery, have them charge it before you come and visit them. Plug the battery in. On the executive, the display should light up. On the independence model, see if they have a battery pack or bring new C batteries. Plug them in. Once you plug this in, turn the light on. That light on should turn orange. I got another video you can look at that shows you the starting sequence and what to look for and the lights and so forth to know if it's starting up and working properly. The other thing is, so Liberty Plus also should have a battery. If you turn the switch, this one has a light. Oh, it's flashing. It is going to start up. Look at that. And then once again, it's starting the sequence. It's kind of hard to see, but that light is actually orange. When it's started up and running for about 20 minutes, it'll turn green, and then you know you're good to go. So often people will leave the battery plugged in there, and it can kill the system and kill the battery. So this has been part 3, inspecting the mosquito magnet. If you got any comments or questions about one you're looking at or what to look for, make a note in the comments and I'd be happy to answer your question. All right?